All right, so I'm not gonna lie, this is a completely impromptu reading. The reason for it is because I'm filming, like I don't even know what to do with the cards because I'm just like, I don't even know what these are about to say. I don't know where this is going, but I'm doing readings, like I'm recording readings all day today, like whatever, cool. I have my list of readings I'm recording, getting into the energy. I took my break and I came back and I went to go make tea, and I made tea in my Frida cup. And I'm sorry, the messages just started pouring in from Frida Kahlo. So we're gonna do a Frida Kahlo reading, impromptu. I don't know how long this is gonna be. I always say that they're gonna be short and sweet, like when I do like impromptu readings, but then they always end up being long. So I don't know where this is going. I have no idea what she wants to say. What I will say is that I got divinely called to pull these three. Like basically what I'm hearing is that this is like an advice, like a general, like it's an advice and a confirmation kind of reading.
Okay, before we jump into this reading, let me just give a quick review. Frida Kahlo is one of my spirit guides. A spirit guide is somebody who protects and guides us throughout our life. A spirit guide can be a loved one, an ascended master, or an ancestor. So although loved ones and ancestors share our genetic makeup, they're people who are related to us, we usually have no relation to our ascended master. And there's usually no practical explanation as to why this person comes to us or sends us messages. So what is an ascended master? An ascended master is a spiritual being that once lived on earth, fulfilled their reason for being, and have ascended to the divine realm. Ascended masters are the teachers of mankind. They direct the spiritual evolution of earth and guide persons back to the source of divine energy. And this is all in efforts to balance the scales of good versus evil. So if you are somebody who feels divinely connected to Frida Kahlo, do not question it. You are just as welcome to these messages as somebody who was related to her. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this.
But this blue card though is is the general energy right now, right? The general energy, why you felt connected to this reading, why she's having me do this. Okay, so there's something you need to know. There's something you want to know. You're looking for confirmation for something. So that general energy coming through, full moon in Gemini, is pretty much saying, yeah, the answers you need are about to come. They're about to come in this reading, but more importantly, there's specific answers you need and they're gonna come. I know I'm starting off a little silly there, but let's see where this goes. Let's see what the first answer is. All right, the creative. This is interesting, obviously, because if you're watching this, that means you're a creative person. You're an artist of some sort. What I'm hearing is that you have a lot of heavy masculine energy. Frida Kahlo actually had a lot of heavy masculine energy too. For some reason too, I'm hearing that you and your lover are also, your lover is also an artist of some sort. So I don't know why this is coming to me so strongly, but what I'm hearing is that whoever is watching this reading is basically, you may be investing too much time into your partner's art or your partner's career, and you're not focusing enough on your career. I actually could have nothing to do with your partner being a artist. Your partner could actually be into politics or into intellectual things, and you stray away from your own creativity in hopes to advance his intellectuality. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I don't like to use pronouns. I really try my best to stay away, but when I feel divinely called to say his or her is when I say it, so please don't attack me. But what I'm gonna say is that taken out of the pronouns, taken out of that little storyline, and just kind of going into more gender fluid storyline would be that there's some type of masculine energy, or there's some type of authority figure who is intellectual, or who has a more solidified career. That's what it comes down to. Whoever this opposite party is, whoever, there's a strong energy in your life that has a very stable career, a very stable way of making income, and they desire for you to mimic their plans in some way, or to mimic what it is they do. I don't even think that they disapprove of your art. It's just your art, your creativeness just doesn't make money yet. It just doesn't make money. And this energy, this person understands the importance of funds. They understand the importance of money. That's what the answers you need are coming. You're somebody who wants money. You're somebody desiring money. You know, like, it's just, you're starting to understand that, yes, all this idealism is great, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you need to eat, you need to pay your bills. So yeah, that's why she's coming through, because she was a successful artist. She was able to pay her bills through her art, you know, but she also was in a relationship. So I think that's why it's coming through so strongly that this is a relationship thing, because it's like, and it doesn't matter if it's because honestly, Frida Kahlo had a very intense relationship with her father, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I would implore you, if you like Frida Kahlo, I don't want to get too much into her life, but her relationship with her father was very significant to her career. And I want to point out that if you are divinely called to this, you should probably watch the Frida Kahlo movie. The one I'm talking about is the one where Salma Hayek plays her. I think there are other depictions, which are probably wonderful. They probably talk mostly about the same things, but the one with Salma Hayek is the one I watched most recently, and the one I've watched the most, and because it comes from my generation, it, you know, was made in my generation, so it's very significant to me. I would watch that, because I don't want to get too much into Frida Kahlo's life. Like I said, I want this to be short, because I want it to be short and sweet. Like, whatever she was trying to say, it doesn't feel like it needs to be dragged out. It feels like it's a very concise and very specific message. So let's see card number 2. 9 energy, which is completion, right? So it's like, okay. So self-restraint, self-sufficiency, careful preparations, resourcefulness, minor impediments, and adaptability. Off rip, what I'm hearing is something has been taken, like, you actually, all right, there's a few messages coming through here. First and foremost, Frida Kahlo, when she was on that accident, she had to become resourceful in order to keep creating, right? So she literally had a mirror implanted on the top of her, like above her bed, so that she could see herself, so she can paint portraits of herself, right? Minor impediments, like that was a tragedy for her. But what I'm sensing for you is that there's something less tragic, and just there's a minor impediment, and the minor impediment is probably loss of resources, right? So loss of money, loss of an investor of some sort. So what this is saying is, what she's trying to tell you is to become more resourceful in self-sufficiency, self-restraint. There's probably something you're overspending on. What I'm hearing too, off rip, for artists, is that you don't need the best paint on the market. Like, I understand having great paint is great, and it's long lasting, and it brings longevity to your photos, etc., etc. But what I'm hearing is, like, even for like somebody, like, yeah, your big paintings might need this special paint, whatever, so on and so forth, but how much are you painting for like social media? Because you can be using a cheap dollar store paint from, you know, like, literally, you can go to the dollar store, go get dollar store paint, and you can literally make videos of yourself making paintings and post those on social media. Like, it doesn't need to be long lasting, and it doesn't need to have this longevity. It probably shouldn't, actually, because you're probably going to get rid of or give those away or whatever it may be. Even that, what I'm hearing is like adaptability. Like, you're somebody who's stuck probably in the old fashioned ideas of what an artist should be. You're probably somebody who wants your art in an art gallery. You probably want world recognition for your special, unique art. And it's like, no, you need to become adaptable, because like, there are artists are a dime a dozen right now. Like, and I say that with the utmost respect, but like, you need to find a way to adapt to what society is now. Society isn't what it was when Frida Kahlo was coming up and creating art. And I also want to point out that for some reason, whoever this other part is, you need to delve into that. Frida Kahlo was very into politics. Her art represented the state of her being, the state of herself, as a result of the state of like the government, as like the place that the government was in, the place that society was in, the society she was growing up in. So what I'm hearing is maybe coming out of self, not doing so many things that are like self involved. And I know that sounds like it sounds wrong, because Frida Kahlo made self-portraits, but it's like her self-portraits were much deeper than just, here's a picture of me. And everybody knows that from Frida Kahlo's portraits. They were not just pictures of her. They were very, very symbolic. Not only to society, not only to the government, but also to her familial structure, to her feelings as a woman, to her place as a wife. So what I'm hearing is that with this self-restraint, it's kind of restraining yourself. Like I'm hearing you're over-restraining yourself in the sense of like not going deeper, not going deep enough. You know, you have to go deeper. And there's some minor changes that need to be made. You need to become more adaptable to your circumstances at the time, and you need to become more resourceful. You need to understand, especially as an artist, everything that happens to you is happening for a reason in order to make your art better. Like that's how I look at my life as a writer. Anything that's happening to me is happening to me in order to make my writing better. So it's the same for artists. Like anything that's happening to you is for the sake of making your art better. Like I could be wrong for feeling that way. I'm a Sagittarius, so it's like I always look at the glass as half full. Even in my worst times, I always believe everything is happening for a reason. So you need to become resourceful in the circumstances you're in, and stop like desiring other like outcomes or desiring other circumstances. Like, and one thing I'm hearing too is don't push away your art because you need more time or more money. Like, you really need to figure out and become, like I said, resourceful and adapt and create regardless of the circumstance that you're in, regardless of the financial circumstance that you're in. Now, with careful preparations coming through, what I'm hearing is also too is that you have a process for your art, but you don't have a process for selling your art. So you need to go kind of learn, you kind of need to pull into this energy, this person who's telling you like, look at, like, I make money. Like, you need to listen to me a little bit. You do need to listen to them just a little bit, because they are going to help you. And this could be an authority figure that is actually like in real life. Like, this is somebody in your life or a partner in your life, right? Or this could also just be your divine masculine energy telling you like, we need a plan. We need a plan. We need a plan. Like, I want to bring it to Stargazerville for a second, because in Stargazerville, I talk about the Emily energy, right? Like, this energy of just like, I'm sensing a lot of white privilege here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sensing a lot of white privilege with this reading, because what I'm sensing is that it's very much in this, like, you're reading like law of attraction books and all that bullshit. Law of attraction, like the 48 laws of power was written by a man. Okay, that's just one person's ideal, one person's philosophy. And what I'm hearing is that you need to make a fucking plan, right? You cannot wish things into fulfillment. That Emily energy is like, basically like, if I dream it, I can achieve it. No, the fuck you can't. No, the fuck you can't. Because if you dream it, you have to work towards it, and then you can achieve it. Dreaming things doesn't equivalent to achieving things. And I think that there's a very big misconception about law of attraction and manifestation. And with this creative energy coming through, the creative is the masculine energy. It's the magician. It's all about alchemizing energy, taking, turning water into wine kind of energy. Now, we have to understand that turning water from wine is a magical expression, but it's like, that's a magical expression. So yes, God got to use magic, but it's like, we are humans. We do not have magical powers. You can't just will your water to wine. You have to put it through a process. Now, water can be turned into wine, but you know what you need? You need grapes. You need a bunch of other supplies. You need tools. You need to stomp on that. Like, God didn't just literally take the water and turn it into wine. Like, there's a process that occurs. And I think that's important, really, really, really important to understand at this time in your career, is that minor impediments need to be made. You got your water, you got your grapes, and you got your tools, but you need to figure out how to not only make the wine, but once the wine is made, it's like you forgot to buy labels. You forgot to buy price tags. You forgot that you need to invite everybody over to see it. And what I'm hearing is another thing is like with resourcefulness, it's like you could be having your own gallery. Like a gallery, it can occur within your, like, think of your social media as an art gallery. Like, I like to look at my social media like a portfolio. Like, in my brain, my social media exists so that just in case Oprah ever comes across it, she's like, wow, look at all the things this girl has done. Perfect. This is a perfect portfolio. Now, will that happen? I don't know. But the point is that for you as an artist, it's probably more likely to happen. You know, it's very likely that another famous artist will come across your social media and be able to see see this portfolio of work and take interest in it. I'm hearing for a lot that this isn't just about painting or artists. This is like, I'm hearing interior design, architecture. I'm hearing those kinds of things too. Like, I'm hearing out of the box artists, like artists that aren't necessarily like painters or drawers. Like, I'm hearing that you need to take this stuff seriously. Like, you need to put your art, your aesthetic work out into the world. You need to become resourceful and you need to adapt to this new generation, because I'm hearing even with like an architect or like a sculptor or like a an interior designer, what I'm hearing is that it's like you're like, you want clients, because those are kind of things that need clients, right? But it's like, no, you don't. Like, I hate to say it, but it's like, even me, I'm a writer, and it's like I'm doing these readings as a way to adapt to the social media. Like, my innate skill is words and writing, so I found other ways in order to put my talent out there into the world. If you're an interior designer, you can simply like create designs and put those up. Like, you don't have to just wait for clients. Like, how do you expect clients to find you? It's like you want clients so that you can have a better portfolio so you can show other clients. But it's like you're wasting time. You could literally go online right now and go find an ugly room, an ugly picture of a room, and then decide to, like, you know, revamp it and do your shit on your Adobe InDesign or wherever it is that you interior designers do your stuff. What is it called actually? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. The point is do that. Show off your talent. Like, that's what I'm hearing is you're not showing your talent to the world. The spider energy coming through is high priestess energy. So it's like literally creative high priestess. So what I'm hearing is 1, 2, 3 is very significant for you. It's like you need to like 1 and 2 equals the 3, which is the birth, which is the child. So it's like you have this creative energy, you have this, but with the high priestess, it's like you need to have some sort of some type of like decision making, because the high priestess is all about using her intuition. And I'm saying her because the high priestess is represented by a female on the card, but the high priestess energy uses their intuition in order to make decisions. So it's like, yes, you have this creative energy. Yes, it's like this tenacity and this ambition and all these things, but you need to apply it someplace, and you need to use your intuition in order to do that, to make a careful plan, to start decision making, right? Once you combine these two energies, it equals 3, which is the birth, which is the child. So let's pull into this card. That's crazy. This is 35, which is actually 8. Which is actually about, this must be what you're looking for. This is the confirmation you need. And I actually probably, yeah. So advancement, gain in recognition, appreciation, achievements, acceleration, steady gains, increased clarity. Energy flows where energy goes. If you're putting your energy towards not having, not like needing more, you're putting yourself into a lacking mentality. What this is saying to you is that basically, like, if you focus on creating more, you'll receive more, right? Like, I know it's hard because I know that you could right now you're probably feeling undervalued and underappreciated. And right now I need you to understand that the only person who's gonna love you the way you need to be loved is you. So the faster you figure that the fuck out, the faster that you'll be able to start receiving achievements, receiving acceleration. I want to also point out the only person holding you back is you as well. There's always something more that can be done. There's always something that you can do. You need to take your reality into your hands. You are the co-creator of your reality. What I'm hearing too is that there is a loss of faith somewhere in this energy. Oops, I'm sorry. There's a loss of faith somewhere in this energy. It's a lack of connection to the higher powers, a lack of connection to like this high priestess energy. Like, you have all this creative energy flowing and all this divine masculine energy around your life, but you're lacking a divine feminine energy. You're lacking a softness. You're lacking you're lacking the emotions. Right? Your emotions are out of whack. Your emotions are completely out of whack because you don't have faith in anything. So I'm feeling like you're not an overly emotional person. I'm actually sensing you're an under emotional person. You're not emotional enough. You're coming off as emotionless. You're coming off as too, and spirit sees you and the universe sees you, and they're just kind of like, can you wipe that ugly ass like frown off your face? Can you smile at something? Like, you don't even smile when you create anymore. It's like creating for you is just like a job, and it's like there's no more fun in it. There's no more passion in it. There's no more emotion in it. So with that being said, is what they're asking is that you like focus your energy, have an increased clarity on passion. I'm hearing that if you are a female, if you're a female, or if you resonate with the feminine energy, I don't know how to say this. A book I could recommend for anybody who is a female, whatever, so on and so forth, is Pussy Prayers by the Bliss Girl Code. I'll put that in the description. I can't remember like who they have listed as the author because it's not the woman's name. It's like something else. But yeah, Pussy Prayers is something you should really, really, really read or Women Who Run with the Wolves. Both of those books. Women Who Run with the Wolves is a very intellectual book. Very long, very, very detailed. So that's like, I always like to scale the books on a 1 to 10 as far as how difficult they are to read. And I always say Women Who Run with Wolves is a 10. Pussy Prayers is like a 3. And I'm not saying both of them have the same exact information. It's just the way the information is being given to you by the author. But Pussy Prayers is a very easy read. You're able to get through it front to back. You could probably read it in a day if you wanted to. You shouldn't, but you could. You should take your time when you're reading it. But the point is that, yeah, you need a little bit more of passion and pleasure. You need to appreciate yourself. You need to appreciate the universe. You need to appreciate the things that you do have. With that being said, the overall energy coming through with this is that there is some, wow.
If you've been here this long, this means that this reading is resonating with you. So now is the time to hit that like button, drop a comment, or go ahead and subscribe to the channel.
Right at the bottom of this deck, when I picked it up, is the High Priestess. Highest card in the tarot deck, very powerful, good or bad, secrets to be revealed. Yep, I'm going to leave this out right here. Wow. The Magician was right below it. Yep. Yep. This is exactly what these cards are. Right below that was Knight of Pentacles, visitors, messages to share. So that's what I was about to say. I was going to say, let me pull some tarot to see exactly what your messages coming through are, because it's kind of like, yeah, 8 of Swords just came through. So feeling frustrated, bound, gagged. Let's see what you can expect after this reading. If you kind of change your position, you change your mind about a few things. What energy is coming? What does Frida want you to be prepared for? That's what I want. That's what we're asking. What does Frida want you to be prepared for? I have this card, but she's telling me that your temperament, this is what you need to do to get prepared. But let me see what she wants you to be prepared for. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, so some beautiful things coming here. So first and foremost, the thing she's preparing you for is a celebration, bright happenings. I'm sensing a birthday coming up. That's very specific for some people or whatever. A birthday or some type of like anniversary or something. A graduation. Yeah, graduation. Yeah, she's trying to prepare you for graduation, or like, yeah. Some it's graduation, some it's a birthday, and some it's like, yeah. Because this is more of a, an achievement celebration. You know, achieving to the next year, like accelerating to the next year. That's what I'm sensing. But bright happenings. Like there's some bright celebrations coming your way. Especially with this the three, look at what I say. 1 and 2 is going to make you your 3, and this is your 3. This is what she's trying to prepare you for. So I want to say that with this, it's the bright happenings. I'm sensing for some reason, like, if you stay consistent through January and February, which, by the way, you should check out my reading or check out my thing about how, you know, this isn't the lunar. I'm hearing you should check out your Chinese zodiac, because in the Chinese zodiac videos, I'm really talking about the new year starting at the lunar new year. Like, this is not the actual new year right now. So it's like, I'm hearing for you for 2022, it's going to be like, it's going to be feel like a late start, but it's not a late start, because the lunar new year does start in February, and the astrological new year with the zodiacs doesn't start until March, until we pull into, well, April, when we get into Aries season. So yeah, I'm hearing that by Aries season, and you might be in Aries, that's why that birthday is coming through. Yeah, so that, and then also too, Aries season, right around that is when graduation is in like May. Okay, so that fits into the timeline very, 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 very well. So yeah, it might be that you're trying to wait for that to feel this like change, and you're gonna like, no, like they're telling you put the work in until then, because once that month comes, once this lunar new year starts and the astrological new year actually starts, some real blessings are coming your way. So yeah, with the King of Swords coming through, the other things to reach out, to look out for. This does say cold and abrasive with the King of Swords, but that's not the energy I'm getting. This energy I'm just getting is that you're gonna be able to demand your respect. Like, you're gonna have respect. Like, I'm hearing, like, put some respect on my name. Like, blue energy, throat chakra. What I'm hearing is that you're not gonna be staying quiet if somebody tries to disrespect you. Yeah, you will be cold and abrasive. That's where the cold and abrasive is coming through. You're gonna demand your respect. By then, you're going to be like in a place where it's like, who the fuck are you talking to? Have you seen? Yeah, what I'm hearing is that this energy will resolve itself. The answers you need are coming, because whatever conflict you're having within your relationships, whoo, that is all going to an end. Your throat chakra is ready to like let people know what's up. And then the Ace of Wands is coming out. The thing she's trying to prepare you for, a new beginning, birth, new ideas, creation. What did I say? 1 + 2 = birth. 1 + 2 = birth. And there we go. There we fucking go. I can't make this shit up. Honestly, this was so unintended. Oops, I'm shaking the camera. So unintended. I did not. Cool. Anyways, so the energy I was saying that she needs you to do to be more prepared is you're undecided. Like, you need to take a step out of the situation, and then you'll see things more clearly. You're too wrapped up in material needs. You're too wrapped up in what you need now. You're too wrapped up in self. You're just being very self-conscious, and that's just out. You need to pull out of that energy. Wands energy is also fire energy. A lot of Wands energy, a lot of fire energy, alchemizing energy, especially with the Magician. The Magician does use all 4 elements, but it's very significant. So I'm going to go ahead and say that you probably have maybe some strong fire placements. I don't like to talk too much about astrology, because it's like, and maybe not necessarily that you have strong fire placements, but I would check to see, because we all have every single sign in our chart. So it's very important that you go check out maybe where Leo is in your chart. And for some reason, I'm hearing to check where Gemini is in your chart. I'm feeling that a lot of you could have a Gemini midheaven. And with a Gemini midheaven, it's like you are somebody who has a lot of talent in a lot of different areas, and it's very hard to like streamline it into one sellable product. You know, my midheaven is in Gemini. I am innately a writer. I love writing. And I think I mentioned that, is that I've had to learn how to use my writing skills in different ways, you know, through speech, through talking, through readings, right? Everything comes down to words for me. But it took me years, 29 years on this earth, in order to like figure that out. So it's like midheaven, Gemini midheavens are very known for that. They, to the outside world, sometimes they look very scattered. I've had a lot of people tell me like, oh, you have all these different passions and it doesn't all make sense and da da da. But it's like, it does all make sense. At the end of the day, what I'm doing when I'm in my process of working is writing. You know, how you see it and how you're receiving it may not always be reading. Like, you may not always have to read what I write, but at the end of the day, the core of what I'm doing is writing. So what I'm hearing for you is that it could be very similar to that, and it may not necessarily that your Gemini is in midheaven, but with like different fire placement aspects, it's like fire is it's like running all over the place. So you might have a fire placement that is like in a place that is like your Mercury. You know, Mercury is like all about communication, and or you could have a fire placement in Saturn, that's ruled by Saturn, like whatever where Saturn is, kind of thing. Like Saturn can be in Leo for you, and Saturn is all about responsibility and taking care of what's needed and all that stuff. So it's like if you have a fire element there, it's like, depending on the fire element, like you may actually be somebody who runs away from security, who runs away from stability, because it's just you just don't know how to grasp onto it. It's just your fire is just all over. You're like a wildfire. Those were random ass examples. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I said this was gonna be quick. That's a 30 minutes. Never as quick as I say they're gonna be. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this off here. I hope this reaches you in good health and high spirits. I am signing off.